Hi everybody, this is my first YouTube video, so please bear with me. So the reason that I am recording this video is because I recently went through steroid withdrawal, also known as topical steroid withdrawal or red skin syndrome. So what this is basically when someone has taken any type of steroid like prednisone, or it could even be any of those like cortisone creams that people use for eczema. For some people use them like for a month and then they go through what is called steroid withdrawal. I used prednisone for an autoimmune disease that I was battling, and I had to be on the medication for 3 months. I was supposed to be on it for 4, but weaned myself off in 3 months. I know, crazy. And I was on really high doses, 80 milligrams a day starting out while I was in the hospital for a few weeks. So I wanted to share with you guys some tips on how to get through it and the things that I wish that I knew in the beginning of the steroid withdrawal. So I know a lot of you guys are in the beginning, some of you guys are in the middle stages, some of you guys are at the end, but wherever you are in your journey with steroid withdrawal or topical steroid withdrawal, TSW is also what it's called, I just wanted to give you guys some tips that really helped me. So the first thing I would say helped me get through the beginning stages, that really red stage and the itching and the burning, was Epsom salts. So I lived in the bath. You guys know what I'm talking about if you've been through the beginning stages. I lived in that bath for like 8 hours a day. It's the only thing that soothed my skin, because if you are going through topical steroid withdrawal, or even if you don't know what it feels like you're just constantly itching 24/7. Like legit, you guys, I felt like a crackhead. Like, I know that sounds crazy and I'd never been on crack before, but I could only imagine. It was just so excruciatingly itchy that I couldn't even have conversations with people without just like itching really bad, or my neck, my face, like everything was just itching so bad. My TSW or steroid withdrawal covered my whole body except for my scalp and my feet and my private parts. Thank you, Jesus. If it affected all of those parts, it would be even crazier. I know some people are affected by those areas as well. One thing I should note is in the beginning stages, my hair did fall out. Like a lot of it fell out. It was coming out in clumps. Like I felt like I was a cancer patient. It was pretty devastating. But the thing about hair is, like, I knew it was going to grow back, and I knew that it was a side effect of prednisone. So people that are going through steroid withdrawal just because of cortisone, they also experience the hair fallout. I feel like that's one of the beginning symptoms. Your hair just starts falling out. And I knew that there was a huge fallout for me because, like, I'd be in the shower and I'd be brushing my hair and it was just coming out in clumps. But not only that, when I would like put it in a ponytail, my ponytail felt like super tiny, and I was just like, yo, what is going on? Like, I can't believe this much of my hair is coming out. And then like even where my hair would naturally separate, like you could really see my strands and my scalp, and I was just like, yo, my hair like is so thin right now. It was whack. But like I said, I knew it was gonna grow back, so I wasn't super tripping off of it. Like I was just like, okay, whatever. But the itching was so bad, and the only thing that helped with that, while it was itching just constantly nonstop, like you don't really get a break in the day, it's just constantly itching. So what I would do is I would just run hot bath water and put about I don't know, 2 cups of Epsom salt, or maybe 3, depending on how bad the itch was. And you would think that Epsom salts would make you burn, but it's so weird. It actually calms the skin. And another thing that it does is it does dry it out. So in the beginning stages of steroid withdrawal, you're going to be bloody and like, not, I wouldn't say hella bloody, but you're going to itch your skin, and the skin is so thin, it just comes off very easily. And then it starts oozing this fluid, like a clear fluid, which is lymph fluid, which is under the skin. And so this is your body purging the toxins out of your skin. And so it was really hard at this stage. And so the only thing that made me feel better was taking a bath in Epsom salts. And like I said, I would be in there for hours. At this point, I wasn't even working anymore. It had gotten so bad. It just was spreading all over my body. It started with my arms, moved to my chest, then went to it was already on my hands, then moved to my thighs, then my stomach, then all of my legs, my back. I didn't get as much on my butt, but I got a lot like behind my like thighs. But yeah, so that's number one. Number two, let me see, moisture withdrawal. So moisture withdrawal, you'll hear a lot of people talk about this. Some people it works for and some people it doesn't. For me, I just did it naturally. I didn't even know it was a thing. But what ended up happening was I would get out of the bath, and of course Epsom salts make you super dry. You would think, okay, let me put some natural oils on it, or let me put some lotion on. Well, I didn't use lotion because it had way too many ingredients in it, and things that I wasn't trying to put on my body because everything at this point made me itch. I would put I tried virgin coconut oil, I tried olive oil, I tried shea butter, I tried all these natural oils, and for some reason I got to a certain stage in the steroid withdrawal where I would put on like a natural oil and my skin would spaz. I mean, literally I'd get out the bath, my skin's super dry, it's almost like cracking at this point. I'd put it on, and then literally right then my skin would turn bright red, and then it would start itching to the point where like I'm literally scratching my skin off again, and I would have to jump back in the bath. So what I did was I was like, okay, how can I make myself more comfortable going through this? So I just decided I wasn't going to use any like moisture on my skin anymore. I couldn't. My body was basically rejecting it at this point. And I wasn't able to really go anywhere at this point anyways because I just looked crazy. My skin was red and blotchy all over. I was starting to get hives everywhere. I was starting to get all of these allergies that just randomly would come up if I would eat certain foods, like grains and nuts, and like any type of yeah, so I guess it would be just grains and nuts basically, and any type of, oh yeah, higher fats. So like even avocado, like even because I was vegan when I started this journey, so you know I was vegan in the beginning, like a few months before starting this journey, so I already wasn't eating any animal products. So yeah, so I basically did moisture withdrawal, and so I still till this day, no lie, don't use any oils or lotion. The only time that I put a little bit of oil on, and it's virgin coconut oil from Bali, I use a tad bit on my face and a tad bit on my hands sometimes because my hands do still get like kind of dry, but it's only this side actually. But the rest of my arms, like I don't put any lotion on or anything. My legs, I usually don't put any lotion on, or any oils or anything, just because I don't really need it anymore. So basically,
I don't want to like make this video so long, but I just have to give you guys some information.
So when we're born, we are born without lotion, and we are born with natural moisture in the body. So over time, when we constantly are putting moisture on, we tell the body that it doesn't need to put its own moisture into those areas of the skin. So if you think about it, if we're constantly putting on moisture and lotion on our body 24/7, we're telling our body we don't need moisture to go there. It's fine. So then when you don't put it on, this is why we look ashy, dry, and cracked.
And a lot of times too, most of us are walking around super dehydrated, but I'm not going to touch on that right. I'm not even going to get into that right
now. So yeah, if you think about it, it made sense. Okay, well, if I stop putting moisture on my body, since my body's rejecting it anyways, let me allow the moisture to come back. Now, mind you, when you're going through TSW,
honey, you are gonna be dry for a while.
Like I was walking around like a crusty lizard for months. You know, there were days that I was just like peeling. My skin was just, it was just scaly. I had so much scaly skin in my bed and on my floor every day that I would have to sweep up a pile that was like this big of just scaly skin. Like it was gross, you guys. It was nasty. But anyways, that helped me feel better. Like I felt so calmer after. My skin wasn't crazily itching really, really bad. So I continued that, and what I would do, here's a tip, another tip on while you're doing moisture withdrawal, if you can do it. The first few days when you do it, it is going to be hard because you're going to feel like you can't move. After the bath, your skin almost tightens up, and then you feel like like you can't move. It hurts, actually. It really hurts. But after like the first day, you kind of start getting used to it. But one tip that I would say to help you get to like to be able to move while you're going through the first stages of it is get a dry brush and exfoliate the skin, the dryness, after you get out the shower or the bath or whatever you're taking. And this helps you. It's almost like, it reminds me of the Tin Man putting oil on his skin when he's able to like move again. It's the same way, but you're doing dry brushing. So it's like you're dry brushing after you get out of the bath, and then it helps you be able to move for the rest of the day instead of being stiff and then like cracking. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3.
Celery juice.
Yeah, I know there's like this huge hype around it right now, but let me tell you, there is a reason. Medical Medium, if you don't have his books, research him ASAP right now. I've been following the Celery Juice for over 2 years now, and it's all because of the Medical Medium. This is not sponsored or anything. This is real life. I did this and I saw results. What the celery juice does, I mean, there's so many benefits. Please, I'll leave a link so that you guys can go read about it yourself. But it's literally celery juice on its own. I was doing 16 ounces, but I would recommend, like, looking back, I do 32 ounces every day now just for overall health and like just helping my body flourish after all of this damage that I had did to it with the steroids. But I do 32 ounces a day now, but you have to go ahead and work your way up to it. So start off with 16 ounces. If you don't see any results right away, like, keep going with it at least for a few months. I promise you'll see some results. Because a bunch of people that are going through steroid withdrawal, or that don't even have like TSW issues, but like other issues, chronic illness, you can totally use it too. It's so beneficial for so many things, for so many different chronic illnesses and stuff. So get on that. Juicing that every day on an empty stomach will help your skin tremendously, and also to help you sleep. So the body needs mineral salt, so make sure you get that. At least try it out. Like I said, it's helped me. I still use it to this day, and I don't go a day without using it. If I don't have it for one day, I feel like I didn't get sleep or something.
I mean, not like coffee, like where you don't have it and you go through withdrawals. It's just like I don't feel it's basically like my energy for the day. I just feel so good after having it.
Number 4, that was number 3, is lemon water. I didn't start doing this till later, and I wish I did it earlier, but I do think that like in the beginning, sometimes certain things I was so sensitive to, so I felt like everything I was eating and drinking was giving me a reaction. So I kind of stopped certain things. But lemon water detoxes the body, and it's an astringent. In order to give your water that living vitamins and minerals, you want to, and the detoxing agents, you want to do lemon water. So you would add about a half a lemon for every 16 ounces of water. And I've noticed a huge difference for me, even now. So now every day I actually drink 32 ounces of lemon water in the morning, and then I wait 30 minutes, and then I drink my lemon, and then I drink my...
I can't talk right now.
And then I drink my celery juice. My 32 ounces of celery juice. So I'm getting lots of fluids every day, and I've just noticed a huge difference in my skin. Like, my skin just feels so supple and soft and beautiful. You know, sometimes if, well, I guess I'll touch on that later, but like I'll notice if I don't have enough fluids, then I do feel a little tiny drier, but I'm still, you know, at the like way end stages of the withdrawal. Like I wouldn't even consider myself in it really anymore.
But anyways, yeah, so lemon water. Anytime you drink water, make sure you have lemon in it. And I drink spring water. It's my personal water that I drink, because all other water has all these other added weird chemicals that I'm not trying to put in my body. And also, I don't want any leftover hormones or pharmaceuticals that are left in the water that's recycled. So I drink spring water.
Let's move on to number 5, and that is movement daily. So moving every day. I know that it is very, very hard while you are going through withdrawal to even get up in the morning sometimes. Sometimes it is hard to open your eyes because your eyes are so cracked and oozing with fluid or itching, or they're even swollen. You can't even open them. So I know that some days you are going to feel defeated. But if you can, I urge you, get up and walk. Walk, do yoga. just get the body moving. And the reason I say walk is because it's light and it's easy. In the beginning stages, you're not going to be able to work out hard. Don't even try, because your body is doing so much work as it is, just trying to detox this agent from your body, this chemical, I should say, from your body. And the reason why we are going through such a harsh withdrawal is because the lymphatic system is no longer working. So it's purging. The lymphatic system and the kidneys are no longer working to filter anymore. So you have to get the body to be able to filter, which is why the celery juice and food and nutrition all play a part in this. And they'll help you heal faster by eating certain healthy foods and drinking these fluids that I'm telling you, like the lemon water and the celery juice. So the reason I say walking is because if you try to start doing some hardcore working out, your body may try to sweat, but a lot of times you may not even be able to sweat at this point if you're in the early stages, and that is because the lymphatic system isn't working optimally. So if you get walking, that allows the body to move, and you can move the fluids that could be stagnant in the body, allowing them to move to the lymph nodes to purge out toxins through them.
And then also pushing the lymph fluid to the kidneys, that will also help the body release all of the chemicals and toxins in your system that are just sitting there.
Because while you're not doing anything, it's just sitting there. And that's why you'll notice too, you'll get a lot of edema and a lot of like fluid retention in certain places. Make sure you get up and like move. Number 6, this was really important early on for me, and I noticed I kind of had to do it. I didn't really even feel like I had a choice. I removed all chemicals from my house and from all of my beauty products. So I was naturally forced, like I didn't wear makeup for 2 years, y'all. Like I just didn't. If I did, it was once in maybe every few months. And when I did, a lot of times the makeup that I was using prior was not toxic free. So my skin, I would barely put it on, and it was just, my skin would just break out right away. Like literally my eyes would start swelling up. I would start itching. I would start having reactions. I would have to take it all off. So then what I end up doing was I end up finding some natural makeup brands and some toxic free lines that work amazing. And so I started doing that, but also like detergents. I had to get rid of any type of fragrance or anything in my detergents. So I always used a sensitive detergent prior to that, but I even went as far as like looking for the plant-based, 100% plant-based kind, just because my skin was just sensitive to any smells. So what I learned also from medical medium is that like all fragrances have high doses of chemicals. So high that they don't even state what is actually gone into the process of making that fragrance. So I got sensitive to even any fragrance. Anything that says fragrance or perfume has tons of chemicals. So candles I got rid of. Any type of perfumes I got rid of. Shampoos and conditioners I couldn't even use in my hair, because after I would wash my hair, my whole face would itch. Everything would itch wherever my hair touched. And then I just was sensitive to everything. So anything that had a strong smell, incense, or anything that were like synthetic. Anything natural was somewhat okay, but anything synthetic, my skin reacted right away. So soaps, all of those things. So I had to remove anything with perfume, anything with chemicals in it, and only use stuff that had natural oils, which even then I couldn't use at the time. Now I can, but got rid of all that. So that helped me as far as like the itching went. And so it kind of calmed down a lot of these triggers. I would say they were triggers that would make me go into these small flares. Or I should say large flares, because some of them I was out for like days where I couldn't move, or I was just blistering.
It was just crazy.
Number 7. So here's a few things that really helped me as far as hives or infections, or because when you're constantly itching, you'll go through certain phases where, like, I know I went through a phase where I would get hives, and the only thing that helped with these hives was aloe vera gel. And I'm talking the aloe vera gel from the leaf, the big leaf aloe vera. I would cut it open and I would put it on, and it would calm the skin right away. That's the only thing that helped, because obviously I couldn't use any creams or anything like that on my skin. That's the only thing that it didn't make my skin feel like it was suffocating. So I would use that. And then also a lot of people get what is called like herpeticum, or these like bumps that itch and they spread, kind of similar to like a staph. And according to like one of my, the dermatologist that I went to see, which a lot of you are familiar with, Dr. Rappaport, I went to go see him in LA. It's only about 6-hour drive from here, and I live in the Bay Area, California, but I took a flight out there. It was only about 45 minutes, and I went to go see him because I did have like some type of infection like under my leg that was forming, and then I end up being able to kind of naturally help it go away without any type of medications or anything like that, because during this whole time I couldn't take any medications, and I was actually not trying to take any medications. Like, I know a lot of people do Benadryl and all of these things, but I was basically against all medication at this point, and I still am till this day. I don't take any.
I don't even take Tylenol.
At the time, all of those things, even I remember one time I had like a very bad allergic reaction. I took Benadryl. It made me worse off the next day. So I was just against it, and I found natural remedies for everything. And I'm already like a naturalist in those type of fashions anyways. Like, I love taking herbs and natural herbs for whatever ailments that I may have. So but anyways, that just was going off to say I wasn't going to take any antibiotics or anything like that. Antibiotics are so bad for us. So I didn't take any of those. So a lot of us in TSW, you'll get through a stage where you'll get these like bumps that are like little. They almost look like as small as like a tiny mosquito bite, but once you scratch it open, clear fluid comes out and it starts spreading. So it'll be like, say I got it on my wrist at first and it started itching. If I touched my leg and I scratched and then it opened, it would spread there, and then it would just spread all over.
And this drove me nuts.
Like, I mean, you guys, I had a breakdown, I remember one time, because it was so bad. I just started crying. I was just like, oh my gosh, this itch is so bad. And it was at a later stage too. I want to say I was probably like 12 months in, like a year in, but I didn't know what they were, and the only thing that helped with that was I kind of felt like it had to be bacterial, because bacterial or viral, I wasn't sure. People were saying it was herpeticum, but when I showed Dr. Rapp, he told me it looked like a minor staph infection, because mine didn't look like herpeticum. Like, it didn't have the small dots. It was kind of a little bigger, and then it was like clear fluid coming out. It wasn't like white pus or anything like that, but it did kind of still like crust over and turn yellow. I know that sounds super gross, but yeah, so I used tea tree oil and I dabbed it with regular like olive oil, and I mixed it because the tea tree oil is so strong. So I would put it over that and it would burn, but it stopped it from spreading. And then I also noticed while I was going through that, if I ate raw, 100% raw vegan, it helped speed up the recovery to it, and I stopped getting it. Like, I was already eating mostly raw anyways, so I would just do raw vegan for a few days and then it would go away. Next goes into eating raw vegan. So it was April of 2017 that I stopped completely the steroids, which was the prednisone. I hit 2 years in April of 2019, so it is June now. So we are hitting like 2 years and 3 months since I have been off of steroids. Through that journey, 7 months of topical steroid withdrawal, I ate raw vegan. So I know you guys are probably like, well,
some of you may be like, what's vegan?
So vegan is obviously like not eating or consuming any animal products at all. Like, none whatsoever. No meat, no dairy, no cheese, no butter, none of that stuff. I was already vegan like 5 months before going through the withdrawal for my autoimmune disease problem, which I have no issues with anymore, going plant-based. So yes, plant-based does heal you. Please, if you have any issues, look into it. Okay, but anyways, 7 months out of those 2 years and 3 months, I ate raw vegan. And then 5 of those 7 months, I ate raw vegan, but I also cut out salt and I also cut out fat. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh my gosh, like, how did she even survive not eating fat or salt?
Oh my gosh, like, how did she even survive?
Like, it's so easy, you guys. I mean, when you're, okay, maybe I shouldn't say it's that easy, but like, it's easy when you have a reason. So like, my body was rejecting fat and salt. Like I would eat something that had anything, like, and I wasn't, mind you, I'm not deep frying no foods. I couldn't even eat stuff like that. I was literally, I would have like avocado in my salad or something and I would start itching like crazy. In doing research about the medical medium and about fats and about salts, he mentions that if you lower your fats, it helps the body detox quicker. And he said you can totally like remove all fats and you'll be totally fine. You can, and I figured, well, I know that a bunch of people can like live off of like not eating fats. There's naturally like fats in certain foods, but I meant like fats like avocado, nuts, or oils or anything like that. So, you know, even though those are good sources of fats for, you know, us vegans, while you are detoxing, while your body is in a chronic condition, you need to either remove them or lower them so that the liver can heal and so that the liver can filter all of the toxins that it's dealing with. So I also cut out salt because that slows it down as well. I don't use table salt. I just use Himalayan pink salt, but still pink sea salt, but still, it's still hard for the body and the liver to process. So I actually removed it completely for 5 months and I noticed a huge difference. I went from itching 24/7 to like itching maybe like two hours a day. And then I was able to get sleep. For the first, I want to say year and like 8 months, I didn't really sleep that much. I would probably sleep in the first few months. I didn't sleep at all. The cortisone does not allow the body to go to sleep at normal hours. You'll literally be up to like 5 in the morning and then you'll get tired around 11 maybe, or like 6 in the morning when everybody's waking up. I don't even know how I got through some of that. I don't even know how we get through that. You just do. Every day you just wake up and you're just like, you tackle the day, like you just got to get through it because you know that other people have gotten through it. And that's why I want to continue to share my journey with you guys, because I just feel like during that time, sometimes like I would go out searching for inspiration that I needed just to kind of push through the days sometimes. If you hit a stage where you're just like really in a bad place mentally and emotionally, because that's kind of where I got to why I started eating raw vegan. I was just so emotionally drained, so physically drained and so mentally drained, and I was getting depressed. And I started like really feeling, I never felt depression in my whole life until going through steroid withdrawal. I also started getting a bunch of anxiety. And the only thing that helped was like eating raw living foods. Now, as a vegan, I eat raw living foods all the time, but obviously cooked foods too. If you don't know, cooked foods slow down your detox. They don't stop it. They just slow it down a little bit. So one thing you'll notice about eating raw is that when you eat raw for a few days or even one day, you'll start to notice your symptoms may get worse for a little bit. And, but not too long, but they get bad because your body starts rapidly detoxing. So if you get to a point where your body's rapidly detoxing, you're getting migraines or like headaches or whatever, you can eat something that, eat some steamed vegetables or something, and that will slow it down. Or you can, after you do some steamed vegetables, you can add in some like sweet potato, some steamed sweet potato. Those will slow it down and allow you to feel a little more comfortable for a little bit. And then you can go back to eating raw again. So that's all I'm going to say about that. It's not something you have to do, but just try it. A lot of people that I have recommended it to that are going through steroid withdrawal have done it, and they like thank me. They're like, oh my gosh, I cut out, you know, or even like if you cut out, like one thing I feel like I noticed about eating too is cutting out grains for the time being, and legumes. And I love beans and rice. Like I'm half Mexican. Like
I love beans and rice.
like that is my favorite. Like I can eat that all day. Like no lie. But I had to stop. I just noticed I was like itching more. And the only reason why I stopped was because beans and rice are just a little harder on the digestive system to break down. So when your body is trying to work at just healing, and then you put food that's harder to digest in your body, then it has to focus on digesting food. And anytime you eat cooked food, it takes up to like 80% of your body's energy to just break it down. So whereas like with cooked food, it'll take your body 2 hours to 4 hours to actually completely digest and absorb, where it only takes, if you like say something like a watermelon, 15 minutes to completely like digest and start moving out of your system. So now you can see the difference. It's like a lot lighter on your body, and so it doesn't take as much work. So if the body's working too hard, then it becomes hard for the body to actually like start detoxing.
So let's move on to the next one. I know I'm rambling a lot, but there's just so much information that I have based off of like my past experiences, and then also dealing with colitis stuff and like all of the research that I've done for the past few years
while being stuck at home, y'all. So I just have so much to share, so bear with me. The number 9, we're on number 9, so we almost got one more. Number 9 is the sun. So I know that like society will tell us the sun is gonna give you cancer and the sun is gonna make you burn and like all these things. Don't listen to that shit. Of course, yes, I am a melanated person, so I have a darker skin complexion, but I do not burn. But I just wanted to tell you that the sun is so healing. The things that make us get cancer or give us any type of skin issues or blemishes or sunspots are all from what we eat and what we put on our skin. So if you are putting on sunscreen, which has hazardous, toxic, crazy chemicals that you shouldn't even ingest, but you put on your skin, those are what, mixed with the sun rays, can cause cancer along with what we are eating. So it's like, you know, it's a few things. It's not just one thing. So it's not just the sunscreen. It's not just, but anyways, if you are a very light person, or you have a very white skin complexion, or you're just very sensitive to the sun, then there are natural oils that you can use to be in the sun. One thing I should note is the sun will make you a little uncomfortable at times, but try to get at least like 15 minutes a day. Just go sit in the sun. Don't put anything on your skin if you can. I guess I should say this. If you are a lighter person, go earlier times in the day, like 11 a.m. is a good time to get like a good sun that's not going to burn you, because around 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. that sun can be very strong for any of us, and so like you obviously may burn. So maybe do like 15 minutes around 11 a.m. in the morning. I could lay in the sun all day and be cool. The only thing about while you're being in the sun to heal while going through steroid withdrawal is that you could start getting really itchy, because the skin starts to get like kind of hot or sweaty, and anytime you sweat, any sweat that comes through the body is releasing toxins, and therefore it just starts itching really bad. So it wasn't until I went to Bali actually that I stopped itching when I sweated, which was amazing. It was just so cool. Number 10, positive affirmations. Guys, this is so important. Now I know that it's hard to be positive going through this, like really hard, because some days you're gonna wake up and not want to be yourself because you don't like who you see in the mirror. But I would write positive affirmations on my mirror every day, and I would say things to myself like, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are gonna get through this, you are inspiration to others going through this. Because I knew that I'm gonna be doing what I'm doing now. I knew that I was gonna do that while I was in it. I just knew it. I felt it. I felt the universe, I felt God tell me like, you're gonna get through this and you're gonna help others heal. And you're gonna show others that they can get through this too. So I also took pictures a lot, even though I hated taking pictures of myself while I looked cracked and scabby and scaly and bloody and scary like a zombie. I took pictures though to show myself my progression, because while you're in it, and it's like, say you're in it for like 2 years, you know, you can start to feel like it's never ending and that you're not making any progress. But if you have pictures, you can kind of see like, oh my gosh, my last flare, I actually looked way worse. Look at this flare, you know. And that's why it's great to see a bunch of you guys, you know, documenting your journey on Instagram. Like, that's so brave, and I'm so glad you guys are doing that to spread awareness. And then also journaling every day. I journaled every day for a long time, especially while I was in Bali, and I was at the last stages of it then, but it just helped me feel grateful for my life and the simple things. gratitude will help you get through a lot. Just being grateful, because there are just so many other things that could be going wrong. And don't get me wrong, because going through steroid withdrawal was the hardest thing I've ever gotten through my whole life. It was harder than colitis, the worst stages of colitis, which almost had me having to get my colon taken out, you know. But just please have faith in your body, and like talk to yourself, talk to your body. I mean, you probably talk to yourself already, because, you know, going through steroid withdrawal, you're alone a lot, and it's very lonely. And, you know, it's a time to just be still. Recognize that this is a time to be still, and you're going to learn some lessons that you may have never been able to learn unless you went through this. So it taught me to be still and to just be thankful for the moments that I was in, knowing that I was going to get through them. It was hard, but, you know. So that's the last thing I kind of have to say about that. I know this video is long, but I feel like those were super important for me and my healing, and I wish I would have known them earlier. One thing I want to say is that Dr. Rappaport told me a few things I want to share with you guys. He told me that it could take from 1 to 4 years to completely heal. So if you are in year 3 and you are not seeing any results, or you just keep going. I know it kind of seems like it's never ending, but I know some people in TSW will say like, oh, food didn't really help me, but then you'll also see most people went vegan because their body was naturally rejecting meat and dairy. Like, it's crazy how your body, when it is trying to fight to heal, it will backfire. It will seem like it's backfiring on you, but it's really helping you out. It's telling you, we cannot eat this stuff. So a lot of people naturally just went vegan naturally. They stopped eating meat and dairy because it was making them flare up. But I'm telling you, the food helps so much. Like, it made me feel so comfortable, by eating like raw. And then what's crazy is after eating raw for, those 7 months, when I started eating cooked food again, I no longer had any sensitivities to grains, no sensitivities to nuts. No, I was not flaring. It was almost like I could just eat.
Like, of course I wasn't just eating anything.
But like, the first day that I had ate cooked food, I slowly went into it first by eating some raw veggies on the plane. And not raw veggies, steamed vegetables with a little bit of sea salt on the plane. And then like nothing happened, and I wasn't having a reaction. I was like, oh my gosh, like I could eat cooked food again and not have a reaction. So I was actually on a flight to LA, and I told my cousin, I was just like, let's go eat at like a vegan spot. So it was actually Thanksgiving, and all the vegan spots were closed. And so we found a Mediterranean spot that had vegan options. So I went there and I ordered sweet potato fries, I ordered hummus, I ordered beans and rice, I ordered a salad, and it had like nuts on it, and I ate all of it, you guys. I splurged, and I thought to myself, well, if I have a reaction, oh well, I enjoyed all of this food.
Y'all.
I didn't have no reaction. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it'll like happen in a few days. No, it never happened. And that's when I knew that all of that hard work of eating raw helped cleanse my body and my cells on such a deep level that it just proved to me that nutrition is so healing. I have so much to share with you guys about health and healing and all of these tips that I want to give you. But I just had to put the TSW video out first because that was the most important for me, because I know how hard it was getting through steroid withdrawal. I still have stress, post-traumatic stress about it, you know, with certain things. I honestly haven't taken a bath in probably 7 months, because it gives me PTSD. Like, I just have flashbacks of like how bad it was when I was in the baths years ago. I do want to, I love baths though, so I should take some soon, but it just kind of brings me back to some really tough times. But anyways, I'll probably post some pictures so you guys can kind of see like the progress of how bad it was versus like how I am now. I do have some makeup on now, but it's very light. I have like some eyeliner, some mascara, and a lippy, and a little bit of cover up. That's all natural and doesn't bother my skin at all. And I hardly wear makeup because my skin is actually beautiful under this. I'll show you guys some pictures of my skin now. But anyways, that's all I have to say, you guys. I love you, and just know that you guys will get through this. But anyways, have a great day. Keep fighting. Subscribe to my channel, as I am going to have a lot more videos coming up soon. And also, if you have any questions, leave them below. And then also, I'm going to link my blog so you guys can read about some other details in my journey there. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.